I think one of the first things that we can do to make events more inclusive and accessible is reliving the idea of a hybrid event and recognizing that a hybrid event is honestly one of the surefire paths to making your event more accessible and more inclusive. Because the biggest thing that keeps people from even going to the event is travel. You know, it could be as simple as having to drive to the venue. It could be as simple as having to fly across the world to go to the venue. And I think that we are in a world where we've let hybrid events just kind of not happen anymore. And we've said, oh, it's too expensive, or, oh, it's not what attendees want. But in reality, they are looking for that sort of stuff.
I think it's about making every attendee feel seen, valued, and heard. At the moment, it's less about creating not only a party atmosphere, but making everyone feel like it's their own party, whether that's including non-alcoholic options that go just beyond a non-alcoholic beer, something really creative in the mocktails and so on.
Yeah, so first of all, the technology has to be truly accessible, you know, whether it is VPAT compliance, WCAG compliance. So in that regard, we have ensured that whether it is our in-person event tech offering or virtual event tech offering, that is absolutely accessible to everyone. And to make it more inclusive, we have ensured that at least our events are available to people who even cannot attend it. So we always try to offer a virtual component to any of our in-person events and vice versa.
One of the ways at EventTech Live we've approached making our events more inclusive and accessible is partnering with great companies like Interprify and Silent Seminars. Through those two technologies, we've been able to closed caption all sessions on all stages and also provide multiple languages to attendees so they can listen in their preferred native language.
We are Clarion Events. We are taking a few steps to make our events more inclusive and accessible. Firstly, we have an in-house D&I and accessibility department that advise us and help us throughout the event planning and delivery. We also try, especially for big exhibition, to offer a quiet area for our exhibitors and attendees. They may have accessibility needs or not, but I think it's paramount to just go away from the buzz of the show, even if it's for a couple of minutes.
We have a whole team putting together panels, for example. The main thing would be to secure democratic access for everybody who wants to be there and wants to have their voice heard on anything, so that we can provide, as organisers, pathways for that to happen.
I think in terms of actually attending events, things like filming and streaming for people who can't actually physically make it into the room, I think that's another brilliant way of engaging people and just including them in events, in experiences they can't actually be physically part of as well.
In order to make it more inclusive and more accessible for all the attendees, I think actually getting them the tools to be able to maybe don't need to listen, but to actually see the text or actually going and accessing the data afterwards. That I think is a really important step in part of including everyone in this data.
In terms of inclusivity at our events, we're now reaching out to people more ahead of the event to find out information that they might need to ensure that they are safe and cared for and their well-being is cared for on the event itself. It's a lot more than dietary requirements, by the way. That's everything about them and how they're going to feel comfortable at the event. In terms of our team, we make them feel really inclusive by some meetings before, during and after, and also making sure we have a very diverse team of individuals throughout the team, so it's not just one type of person.
My own personal bugbear as somebody who's profoundly colourblind is I loathe and detest coloured lanyards. Exhibitors are green, visitors are red. As somebody who's profoundly red-green colourblind, it's a nightmare. I don't think we can wear traffic cones on the head, but it's got to be a better way of differentiating. And it's 12% of the population are colourblind. Just as a note, that's a tip for any organisers. But inclusivity is leagues ahead of where it was, say, 10 to 15 years ago. So let's just keep it going.